Welcome or welcome back. I'm Shannon Makes, historical costumer and sewing enthusiast by day, circus artist by night. And it is that time of the year where we all sit down and sort of do a review of what we made in 2022 and what we hope to make and accomplish in 2023. And this year, I was inspired by the sort of style of video that Opus Elenai does on her channel, where she sits down and looks at all of the reveals from the past year and gives a sort of running commentary on them, because it gives a really fun sort of unique behind the scenes look at what went into the filming and making of some of these reveals. I thought that would just be kind of a fun sort of way to sit down and wrap up 2022. So without further ado, let's jump right into the reveals. So kicking the year off, I did the World War II V-necked vest from the Red Cross knitting booklet, accompanied by some gorgeous scenery at my friend's cabin in Sweden. And actually this was filmed in 2 different visits to that cabin. I was a little bit panicked because I didn't finish it on the first visit, which was over the Christmas break, but then we managed to sneak in a second visit where it snowed and it was magical. Got some beautiful B-roll and managed to finish up the project. So that was really lucky, nice little touch. Super great way to kick off the new year with a beautiful project, which I'm super happy about, accompanied by some amazing audio clips, which I'm also really proud to have dug up. That took forever. And then this is not technically part of the reveal, but I absolutely love coming up here, the smash the like button, which transforms into the actual World War II propaganda, smash Hitlerism. I thought that was a really fun tie between the 1940s and now, because that is an actual poster used in Canada during World War II. Next up, we have the Hepburn Trousers. This is not actually a classic reveal because I was doing some voiceover during this one, but that was because I didn't necessarily feel like I got enough proper footage of this to film a full-out normal reveal. It's filmed in the lobby of the circus building in Copenhagen, which is absolutely gorgeous. You can see some of the fun circus artwork on the walls and some mannequins in the background. It is maybe a little bit chaotic and colorful, but I thought it worked pretty well. The pants, albeit a little bit baggy for my taste, still turned out quite well. I do remember having trouble finding shoes to wear with them because I don't own anything close to historic 1940s vintage style shoes, but that was still a fun project and really fun to collaborate with Rebecca on that one. Next up, the drafted briding breeches from the 1940s manual, another collab with Rebecca from Pocketful of Posies, and the mock-up for this went really, really well. This was the first video. Fun fact, there was supposed to be a second video where I actually make up the breeches in a real pair of them, and I got about halfway through and then sort of hit a sticking point and then just never finished them. So I have half of a video filmed with absolutely one of my favorite transitions ever, so I will probably try and finish that video at some point just to get a pair of working riding breeches and to be able to use that video transition. It's questionable motivation, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Although I was really proud with how these turned out. Like, looking at them now, the fit is really pretty good. I'm not entirely sure what went wrong when I came to make up the pair in wool. It was this gorgeous cranberry wool, which I still really want to use. So gonna maybe have to dig that out of the UFO bin for 2023, because these are some cute pants, minus that bubble butt thing, which I think I fixed. So then after that, we had the Our Flag Means Death pirate robe, which this was so fun to make and edit because the music was super, super fun. Less fun though was getting up at 4 in the morning to catch the sunrise at the beach by my house in Copenhagen. Set the alarm for something like 3:30, got on the bike, biked out there, had the beach almost entirely to myself, except for a few joggers and dog walkers who definitely gave me some funny looks, but Most of this is filmed right around 4:30 in the morning, and then came back and got a couple shots like this one looking out in the water where it's clearly daytime. I did go back and get some extra shots because I feel like I didn't have quite enough of what I was looking for. And you can see, oh, that little thread right there just drives me nuts. But you know, it was a super fun project, and a lot of people were really grateful to have the instructional videos that went with it so they could make their own robe. So this was definitely a big highlight for 2022 for me. Now here is one of my projects that I absolutely loved, but which didn't do very well in terms of views, and that is my recycled Rosie the Riveter outfit, which, yes, I am aware she's not actually Rosie the Riveter. This is the Westinghouse girl, but you know, you gotta go with SEO and what's gonna catch the algorithm, and Rosie the Riveter is much more well-known and recognizable and often confused for the Westinghouse girl. So there you have it. This was all filmed backstage during shows in my theater in Copenhagen, and actually in a bit of a panic because it was like the last weekend or 2 weekends of shows. I really snuck this one in. Absolute deadline. I do actually wish I could have done maybe a little bit better job on the reveal, but I did make this intending to use it as a warm-up suit, and here I am using it as a warm-up suit, and it just so happens that our backstage is a little bit chaotic because there are so many costumes and artists, and yes, here we are doing actual warm-up in it. It worked super well for that, and it was a really fun costume to make. I just wish it had gotten me a little bit more views because it was really fun. Then we jump forward, way forward in time, several months, because of course I had a few months there where I was in transit and, you know, not able to film anything. So here we are jumping forward to Montreal and setting up my room, which I hadn't been in for almost 4 years at that point. And fun fact about this was that I had filmed all of this B-roll when I actually did it, like actually setting up the shelves and everything, and then completely lost all that footage, had no idea where it was. Spent several hours looking for it because I really didn't want to redo it, and then in the end just gave in and redid it. And there you have a little teaser for a future project with the Princess Bride book being tucked in there. That is not a coincidence. That is a sign of things to come. And again, another video that didn't do super well, but which I really loved. I thought it was a great transition from what the room had been before to what it is now. That pegboard, also one of my favorite touches too, because I use it all the time. A lot of people have suggestions on my next video coming up, which is the sewing table. A lot of people had suggestions for what I should put on the sewing table, except that all those suggestions were already on that pegboard wall. That pegboard, I absolutely love it. Super cute, incredibly practical, and really easy to make. There's my little sewing bird making her appearance. And yeah, that was just a really fun transformation for that room. And as you've probably seen, I have been using the room and the sewing table absolutely to death. So absolutely 100% worth it. Then, of course, logically, the next reveal is going to be the sewing table itself. Again, not another maybe classic reveal, but sort of a voiced over me loading up the sewing table at the end of the project. And again, just absolutely 100% worth it making this table. I felt like I maybe didn't do the best job of showing how much recycled material really went into it because already the video was too long and I had to cut it down, but it seemed to convey the message because I did get a lot of comments saying about how they loved seeing all the recycled material. So I guess even if I didn't feel like I did an amazing job showing it, I did a decent job at least. And here I am loading up all of my favorite fabric. You can see the Our Flag Means Death fabric left over from the robe right there on the top, and everything fits in there super neatly, and it's just so nice to have all my fabric visible and easily accessible. My serger fits in there so well, very perfect. Oh, there's the other unboxing memory little question that got dropped in there. I did start to film that, so that'll be coming out sometime in 2023. You can see all my crafting supplies. Oh, Corgi sploot sighting. But all my crafting supplies fitting in there and all my patterns. Yeah, it was just, this project was super, super fun and incredibly useful. Probably the most useful thing that I made in 2022 was this table right here. Then we have the surprise hit of 2022, which was the self-drafted 1911 minimal yardage skirt. Here you can see me wearing it and biking to the mountain to do a little hike with my friend Angela. And of course, we've got Canel in the backpack, some lovely fall foliage. And this was all shot in one day. Absolutely gorgeous fall day. I arrived a little bit early to film some B-roll before Angela got there. Again, getting some kind of funny looks from people as they walked by in the background. And then we just started our hike. I didn't really want to film too much on the hike because I just wanted to have fun hanging out with Angela, but we did film some things. Like this shot here is filmed at the top of the mountain where we took a little break. Canel in the beautiful fall colors. There's Angela. So much fun. And then, yeah, filmed some stuff up at the top and then came back down, filmed some stuff at the bottom at the end, but I think most of that only went into my monthly vlog for my coffee viewers, because by the time I got down to the bottom, I had lost the light. We were like 4 hours hiking, so by the time I got down, the light had changed significantly, and there we are in the middle of the mountain taking a little break and throwing some sticks for Canel, which that's the whole reason she wanted to go on the hike in the first place. And speaking of Canel, the next one up is the Corgi Deadpool, another video that was not very well received, but which was super, super fun to make. The reveal, again, a bit short because I had a severe time crunch to try and get this because I decided to make it very spur of the moment. I had 2 days to make the costume and film it, and then just filmed everything on my way to the costume party, which here you can see it was so much fun to see all the dogs in their costumes and very fun to try and get some footage of it. A little bit tricky because, you know, dogs don't always behave how you want them to, but treats help, and the cute factor kind of makes up for maybe any lack in my filming skills. So that was a really fun whole little video to make, and then just the fact that we won. Oh, there's Canel in the full outfit with the mask and everything, but the fact that we won was just like the icing on the cake. Then the other surprising smash hit of the year being the corset hoodie from Cider, which is actually not from Cider. It was just inspired by Cider, and it turned out super well. I had a lot of fun filming this reveal. As you can maybe notice, I had to put my sewing table to use and roll it out of the way to film this reveal, which was why I put it on wheels. So those came in handy, and yeah, just had a really fun time making this, filming the reveal. This shot here, the way the hood is kind of tucked up under my bun, drives me mildly nuts, but what can you do? Sometimes things are filmed and you just gotta work with what you have. There were some fun moments of me trying to film this reveal by myself, standing on a chair, a rolling chair, and spinning myself around. Those didn't really make the final shot. Then the last video of the year, we have the corset cookies, which I honestly didn't think that this video was going to make it out because I had 2 days to do it, and 2 days is really not enough time to do this video properly or to do this project properly because it takes so much time to do these things. And I was frosting up until literally the absolute last minute before we had to get on a plane. I finished frosting everything at maybe 9 p.m. and we had to get up at 3 the next morning, 3 a.m. to catch the plane, and I still hadn't filmed the reveal, and Phil had the genius idea of, why don't you pack the cookies carefully and take them with you, and then you can film the reveal, you know, once we land. And very smart words of wisdom, that's exactly what I did. Was finally able to actually film the reveal, and they were nice reveal shots shot at my parents' house. So I did manage to wrap that video up and sneak it in there. But fun fact, this video almost didn't happen. It almost didn't get released because I was down to the absolute last wire on this one. But they were pretty, they were super tasty, and they were well received by all of you. So I'm glad you enjoyed the video, because it was a little bit stressful trying to get it out, and very gratifying that people actually did enjoy it. So that is pretty much what I made in 2022, with a few little exceptions here and there. And if you'd like to hear some further reflections on what I made, what I did, what I accomplished, what my favorite parts of 2022 were, as well as hear what I've got cooking up for 2023 and some exciting plans I've got going for that, make sure to head on over to this video, which is going to be part 2 of the year-end reflection, and I'll meet you over there.